When it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog villains, there are a good amount throughout the past 30 years of Sonic. We got the classic era with Robotnik, and the adventure era with Chaos. Then there was a dark era with villains like Black Doom from Shadow the Hedgehog, Iblis from Sonic 06, Dark Gaia from Sonic Unleashed, and as well as Eraser Jin and King Arthur from the Storybook series. Then there's the meta era of Sonic villains, and they were a thing. You got the Time Eater, the Deadly Six, and Infinite. And that's all the villains from the meta era. That's not Eggman. And now we have our new villain from the most recent Sonic gang being Frontiers, that being the End. Going from absolutely terrible to being actually really good now. All in all, there are a great number of Sonic villains throughout the series. And in my personal opinion, the best era of Sonic villains was in the Dark era. I'm pretty sure a lot of you can agree with me on this one. In this era, there were so many great and memorable villains and foes throughout this era of Sonic, like I listed earlier. Each of them being very different and creative and completely different from the last one. And most of them set the stakes at a high pace and as well as had a really good backstory to their motives as well. Well, most of them. Overall, these villains from this era I will always remember as time goes on, and these will always be forever great memorable Sonic villains throughout the franchise. But out of all of them, there is one villain from this era of Sonic that I will never forget.
Just as a flower comes from a seed, or a chicken comes from an egg, everything has an origin.
Mephiles the Dark. This villain will forever be remembered in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise as the darkest Sonic villain to ever exist. Everything about this character is utterly horrifying and dark. His character, his design, his theme song, his voice, and it's even in his name, Mephiles the Dark. Much like Iblis, Mephiles is also from Sonic 06 and is one of the many iconic faces from this game. Mephiles is unlike any other Sonic villain up to this point, and even nowadays, he's unlike any Sonic villain. First of all, look at him. His overall look is creepy. He has no mouth, and his eyes make him look soulless because, well, he is. Mephiles is just pure darkness taken form, and he uses Shadow to take form once he was set free from the Scepter of Darkness. And the second he comes back after being sealed away by Shadow 10 years ago, he already is unhinging from just as simply the way he introduced himself to that skin-crawling music in the background.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
I'm Mephiles. Mephiles the Dark. What? Did you forget me? I owe much to you, Shadow. Oh yes.
This scene right here just really shows without a doubt right off the bat just what kind of intimidating and quite a serious enemy Mephiles is. Without him simply doing anything yet besides just, well, being released and simply introducing himself. Not to mention just overall how well he manages to almost win in this game. First, he's set free, then travels to the future to get Silver and Blaze to kill Sonic so Elise would cry and set Iblis free so he could join with him to become Solaris, and in that meantime while he's doing all that, he then tries to trick Shadow into joining him, but then Shadow says,
"That's absurd. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it alone."
And then transforms to, oh god, what is that thing? Just when this design wasn't already creepy enough, it gets even more creepy. The red eyes, the richer color green pupils, and as well as, he has no feet! And overall, the look of his body and hands and everything about him. Going from just a pure Shadow lookalike to literally just becoming whatever this thing is Oh man. Then after turning into this thing, Shadow then later defeats him and other Mephiles clones, and with Silver realizing the truth of this and that Mephiles lied to him, and now he has saved the future and Blaze sacrificed herself to save it, and Sonic saving Elise in the end. Everything seems to be all good now, right? Now we make our way back to the Soliana Castle town, we can be on our merry way and... Whoa. So, not only is this Sonic villain already very intimidating, creepy, and overall dark in every way, but is the only Sonic villain that successfully, keyword successfully, killed Sonic. And got away with it. Like, he's dead. Just straight up dead. Look at him. He's dead. Like, he's not coming back. And Sonic didn't even know he existed. I just now realized this. Bravo, Sonic team. Absolutely bravo. Sometimes I really do forget at what you guys used to make. Another thing I want to add to this is notice how when Mephiles stabs Sonic here, there is no music at all whatsoever. Sure, you could say that that's the game being, well, not finished, but personally, I think it adds to it. I'm pretty sure this was intentional, but intentional or not, it's still really such a jaw-dropping scene. This kind of makes you feel really immersed, you know? Like you're there and you're watching this. You're experiencing a blue hedgehog get stabbed. You could just tell that for Sonic 06, Sonic Team was really putting everything into it, making a massive, intimidating threat besides Eggman. But they did more than that. They made what will without a doubt be forever known as the darkest Sonic villain ever. And they did such a good job at this. You know what? I think it's time we dub Mephiles something else. I think it's time that we get past the darkest Sonic villain. I think it's time that we dub Mephiles probably the most horrifying Sonic villain out there. This man single-handedly succeeded in killing Sonic, making Elise cry, thus releasing the flames of disaster, also known as Iblis, and then fused with Iblis to destroy time and almost won! It's a shame we will likely never see a villain as dark and creepy as Mephiles ever again. I really do hope that one day, Sonic Team can make someone just as dark or maybe even more darker than Mephiles. But until that time comes, Mephiles the Dark will forever be known as the Sonic villain that will truly be the most horrifying villain of the series in every way. So on an unrelated note, why did we say that Infinite was going to be darker than this guy? Please, someone give me an answer why. Because it's not. He's not.